What's up, guys? This is Jared Uden, the creator of FromZeroToImpact.com, the online learning academy, and the place where all people come to master the art of public speaking and overcome speaking anxiety. So today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to speak up at work. So it's no lie, people, every one of us at some point, whether we're camera shy or not, or we're afraid of the audience or not, we're all gonna have to get in front of an audience at some point in time and speak publicly. So maybe you're afraid of public speaking. Maybe it gives you sweats. Maybe it gives you the chills. Maybe you step in front of an audience and as soon as you hit the lights, all of a sudden you freeze up and you forget every point and you don't want to look stupid, all right? So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to speak up at work. So have you ever wondered how some of the biggest motivational speakers on the planet came to be? How they have that pandemonium effect? How they are able to just get on the stage and speak, tell a story, tell jokes, and are able to make people just get fired up and clap and cheer? Have you ever dreamed about hitting the stage and maybe having that same effect, having that rock star effect, being able to get a pandemonious cheer and round of applause, to win hearts, to change minds, and to be dynamic? Well, guess what? You don't have to be a rock star or an insanely dynamic motivational speaker to have that same effect in the hearts and the minds of your listeners. Now, I've been doing public speaking all of my life. I've spoken to about 150,000 people live nationwide. And one thing I can tell you is you don't have to be a crazy talented person or a rock star in order to have that same kind of effect. In fact, when I teach you the secrets inside this video on how you can have that rock star speaker effect, you're gonna be shocked that it's actually this easy. Let me tell you what this video is gonna do for you. When you begin to learn these secrets, you're gonna be insanely dynamic. You're gonna be able to get in front of any audience, do your talk, give your spiel, and be able to have a pandemonious round of applause and standing ovation in the minds of the people that you speak to. I want you to get ready, because as soon as you watch this video and go through these steps, you're gonna be able to present like a rock star and spit that fire. So today, to illustrate my point and what we're going to be talking about, we're going to break down one of my favorite videos of all time. And our friend Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street played Jordan Belfort. And this is him actually delivering a pandemonious, just amazing message to his staff. And it got them up on their feet, cheering and screaming and following him and basically being raving fans of his message. Now let's take a look at this video and let's break this down step by step to see what he did and how you can do the same.
I'm gonna let you on a little secret about these telephones. They're not gonna dial themselves, okay?
Okay, so here's a huge secret. Right here, there's this thing called novelty, and this is thing that all of us speakers love to use. Now, novelty is when you teach your audience of listeners something new, something that they've never heard before. And the way that he does it in this video is he says, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. That's novelty. That gets your audience paying attention. So anytime you use that and you actually uncover or do a curtain pullback of some information or something that they haven't heard before or seen yet, they're going to immediately pay attention and dance to your music. Novelty. Now this is another huge one, and whether he realized whether or not he did it, I'm gonna tell you what it was. He made his message not about himself, but about them. Make your message about your audience. So the thing that he said was this.
Without you, they're just worthless hunks of plastic. Like a loaded M16 without a trained Marine to pull the trigger.
Without you, they're just worthless. You know what that did? It gave his listeners purpose, something to live up to.
My highly trained Stratonites. My killers. My killers who will not take no for an answer. My warriors who will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or die!
Now the same thing here, he just gave them a name to live up to. Now when you give someone a name to live up to, that's sort of a reverse psychological strategy to enforce more commitment from your people.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty.
Okay, so let's stop right here. Now, in every message and every time that you get up and speak in front of a group of people, you have to let them know that you are there for a purpose. So right here is when he delivered his core message. He basically said, hey, I'm not here just to talk to you guys all day, just rev you up. I'm actually here to deliver some points. So core message, always get to the point of what you are there to deliver.
I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
Okay, so let's pause right here. So now he's telling a personal story. And you know what a personal story does? It establishes credibility. So if you want people to really respect what you have to say, you always want to tell a story. Now, preferably some sort of story that puts you as the star or the hero of the narrative, because that gives people someone to root for. Now, this is just psychology and how we take in information. We always want, as listeners, a hero to root for. And we also want a villain to hate. And we also want our hero in the story to be able to overcome adversity and make it to the top, because that makes us as listeners feel like we can do the same. Very cool psychological trick. So always tell a story, especially when your message, when you want it to matter.
Because at least as a rich man, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold f***ing watch.
Okay, so he just threw his watch into the audience. So what that equaled, what that was novelty. Again, because here is a guy who is wealthy, and everyone else that's following him, guess what? They want to be wealthy too. And so when he took off his watch and threw it, and someone in the audience caught it or wherever it went, basically what that's telling them is, hey, I can actually touch and feel your message. That establishes so much credibility, and it's a novelty moment. Take any opportunity you can to allow your audience to feel and touch and have a physical connection to your message. That's gonna get them following you and loving you even more.
Now, if anyone here thinks I'm superficial or materialistic, go get a job at fucking McDonald's, because that's where you fucking belong.
Okay, let's pause right here. Now, this is something that I recommend all of my speaking clients do anytime that I'm training them to do a public speech or a huge media interview or a radio interview or be on TV. Always add passion to whatever it is that you're talking about. Let me tell you something about passion. Passion is contagious. Passion has its own energy, enthusiasm, and commitment built into it. So we do this thing called audience mirroring, all right? So basically, whatever you put out there to your audience is what they're going to feel and give back to you. So if you're passionate and you're fired up and you're excited, or you're laughing, or whatever it is that you're giving your audience, that's how they're going to feel. So if you're laughing at your own jokes, guess what? Your audience is probably going to take on and laugh at your own jokes as well. If you're passionate about what you're talking about, it's going to signal to them that they should be passionate, and so they're going to take on your message and they'll be passionate too. Let me tell you something, this is so powerful, but whatever it is that you're talking about, add some passion, and your audience is going to feel the passion too. And it's also a signal to them, your passion, that they should be taking whatever you're saying even more seriously. This is how they will remember you. This is how they will get on board with you and even be more likely to agree with your perspective. All right, let's keep that tape rolling.
I want you to take a good look at the person next to you. Go on. Because sometime in the not so distant future, you're going to be pulling up to a red light and you beat up old fucking Pinto. And that person's going to be pulling up right alongside you in their brand new Porsche with their beautiful wife by their side who's got big voluptuous tits. And who are you going to be sitting next to? Some disgusting wildebeest with 3 days of razor stubble and a sleeveless muumuu crammed in next to you and a carload full of groceries from the fucking Price Club. That's who you're going to be sitting next to.
Wow. Okay, this guy is good. Now, let's break this down. He said, imagine if. Now, this is one of those magical statements that gets your audience paying attention and tuning into you every single time you use it. So, use it. The 2 words, imagine if. Now, as soon as you say these words, what you're doing is you're clicking on someone's imagination, and your listeners, you're telling them to come on a journey with you. So automatically, they're paying attention to whatever you're saying, and they're trying to picture the actual scene. They're actually taking a journey with you as soon as you say those 2 words. Saying those 2 words basically hypnotizes an audience. You're taking them on a psychological journey and even playing on their emotions. Basically, their subconscious minds are recording whatever you say. This is how you imprint onto someone's brain whatever you want them to know.
So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to evict you? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a worthless loser? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
All right, so what this is what I like to call a push it back on them moment. It's after you've delivered your entire message, you've given your challenge, and now you're pushing it back on them and you're saying, okay, now here's my message, here's my motivation, now you take it and do something with it. A push it back on the moment. So this comes in every really good motivational speech or message. Once you've got people fired up, now you want them to take it and do something with it. So you can use this moment and give them a challenge. You can use this moment and just deliver a lesson, or you can tell them now that you know what I've taught you, I want you to think differently. I want you to consider this the next time you go out and walk down the street or whatever it is. So basically, a push it back on the moment is a moment when you can give them a challenge to do better, be better, or just do something differently. So if you're a boss, if you're a manager, or if you manage people, I know one of the things is you always want to find out, how can I get more out of my people? How can I get more out of my staff, or the best out of them? Well, one of the best ways you can do it is to give people a challenge. Even if you're just giving a motivational speech and you want to give your audience a challenge, you can do that. However, there is a danger in giving your audience a challenge too early. Okay? You can't start off your message with a challenge, or else people are just gonna tune you out and they're not gonna listen to you. But if you've already charged them up and told them stories, you were passionate, and you just delivered all these nuggets and notes of novelty, then once you got them charged up and on your side and nodding and marching to your beat, then you can deliver a challenge. But the key is, have you been through the challenge yourself? The key is, have you told enough stories about overcoming adversity or rags to riches where you've walked the mile yourself before you challenge them to do the mile? Make sure that's in place before you give your audience a challenge.
All you have to do today is pick up that phone and speak the words that I have taught you.
I love this guy. Okay, so at this point he says, all you have to do is. So basically, he already gave them the challenge, he already pushed it back on them, his message, but now what he's doing is he's making it very, very clear exactly what he wants them to do. So if you're a boss, if you're a manager, or if you have a job, or if you want someone to do something very specific, get very specific, make it clear. And he actually made it easy psychologically, like, listen, all you have to do is this. Just using those words, all you have to do, basically makes your audience psychologically think that your challenge is easier than you made it out to be. Simple.
And speak the words that I have taught you, and I will make you richer than the most powerful CEO in the United States of fucking America.
Whew. All right, now we're coming to the end, but this one right here, this was a big one. And it's something that I, as a speaker, like to call the promise. The promise to call me out on my integrity, call me out on my bluff if it doesn't work. Now, what this essentially does is it gets people to really believe in your cause and in your mission, because it lets them know that, hey, I've got some skin in the game, so you should have some skin in the game too. You should trust me and take a leap of faith. So what he essentially told his audience in this moment is, if you stick with me, your life will be better, it'll be enhanced. Essentially, making a promise to an audience gets them to be raving fans. It basically creates a cult-like following. Now, there are some risks into giving your audience a promise like this. Like, you had better be able to follow through and your advice better be correct. But guess what? It works, and it gets the most out of people. All right, guys, so there are a number of ways, probably 100 different ways that I could go over today that can really cause you to fire up an audience of listeners and really have a pandemonious effect and get a standing ovation every single time in people's minds. But today, I just wanted to share a couple of them with you so you can see how they work in action. Take a couple of these notes, do them at work the next time you hit the stage or the next time you have an interview. Use some of these items like novelty, the pushback moment, the promise moment, the challenge. Use some of these moments like telling a story, and I guarantee you will go from 0 to impact in your speaking. So for more cool videos like this, stay logged on to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can even hop over to my website, FromZeroToImpact.com, where we help you to become master of the #1 fear on the planet, public speaking, and how to turn it into your ultimate human superpower.